What if I told you that the person making triple your salary isn't 3 times smarter than you or even more qualified? They just believe better. They're just better at believing things that haven't happened yet. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to close that belief gap and start believing your way into the career you want. So stay tuned. Welcome back to the channel. So I've worked with tons of people, and I've seen the identical resumes end up in completely different positions. So somebody with the exact same experience, the exact same qualifications, can be making a lot more money than somebody else with the exact same experience and qualifications because of what they believe. Okay, they believe different things. So today I'm going to teach you how to bridge that gap so that you can start to understand belief work, because that's what's really needed to get you to the next level. So I'm going to share exactly how I developed the unshakable belief that has got me to where I am. So some of the beliefs that I have created throughout my life are, one big one was that I could find somebody to be in a relationship with that loved me exactly the way I was, didn't have to change anything, loved everything about me, instead of me trying to pretend to be something I wasn't for 10 years. Now I have that in my reality, but I had to believe it first. My second belief that I worked on to create it very intentionally was that I could buy a house just on the business income that I make and not having an employer to secure that loan. So I was able to get a mortgage solely on the business income that I can create now. And that was something I was very, very far away from believing several years ago. And now that is my reality. I'm sitting here in my house that I bought off of the income that my business made. And another belief was that I could build a 6-figure business and beyond. That was something that I didn't believe in the beginning, but I didn't have any evidence that that was something that I could do, that I was the person that could do that. So I've got a lot of experience helping people shift their beliefs. And that's why I wanted to make this video, because it's a question I often get is, Natalie, how can I believe something that I've never done before? Okay, so first we're going to go into the before and after version of you. So there's always going to be a version of you now that has what you have now. And those beliefs, like what you can see on your outside reflected in your reality, is what you believe on the inside. So the amount of money you make right now, that's how much money you believe you can make. The relationships that you have now, they reflect what you believe you deserve. And everything else that you have. So material items, relationships, everything in your life is there because you believe you can have it. And if you want more, but you don't have more yet, there is a belief gap. You don't believe you can have it yet. And maybe you're on your way to believing, because believing is not a static thing that you snap your fingers and believe something new. It is incremental work. So a great way to start this work is to imagine yourself. Imagine looking at a piece of paper and there's 2 stick figures, okay? The one represents you as how you are now, and the other one represents your future self. And perhaps though you now, for example, might be underpaid, undervalued, simply not challenged in your role, the second one, the future version of yourself, might represent that you in your dream position and with your ideal salary, your different responsibilities, a different work environment that you truly love and enjoy. And between these figures, there is a bridge. There is a path to all the things that you need to think, feel, and discover that will get you to that next step. So what's the difference between these 2 versions of you? It's not actually the job title and the salary that are different. It's actually your thinking, what thoughts are going through your head every day, the type of confidence that you feel or don't feel, the relationships that you cultivate with that thinking and confidence, and your professional actions that then complete that bridge to the other side. So you can try this exercise now. Write down what before version of you looks like and what they think, feel, and do each day at work. Then write down your after version. What would they think, feel, and do each day? Maybe your current you thinks, I'm not qualified enough for that position, or I need to get this, this, and this, and I don't have this yet. I need this certification. Maybe you're thinking, I'm not sure if they're going to accept me, right? Those could be thoughts your before you has. Your after you would have thoughts like, I bring unique value to this position and I deserve recognition and I'm going to do what it takes to get it. So that's an example of something your after you would think. The goal isn't just to land your better job, it's to become the professional, the person who naturally attracts and thrives in that new position. So when you truly shift your beliefs, your identity, how you see yourself, your career opportunities will follow. You will create a path forward for your new self. All right, the second step, this is very, very important, is you have to believe in it before you see the evidence of it. So when I was talking about my beliefs that I've shifted, there was no evidence in my past that I could date somebody or even be with somebody who was really amazing, who made good money in his job, who loved his job, who was a very kind, caring, emotionally compassionate person, because all I had ever dated in the past were people that hadn't treated me very well, right? And so I kind of started to figure out that that was the norm. Like there was no evidence that I could attract and keep somebody who was kind, caring, considerate, and supportive and everything that I wanted. There was absolutely zero evidence of that. So I had to make that belief system within me first so that then I could attract that on the outside in my reality. Evidence before the thing happens. So that's not something that you're ever going to get. You're never going to get the evidence first, right? And that's the mistake people make. They're waiting around to see the proof first before they do the internal work to believe, and it's backwards. It's like if you were looking in a mirror and you saw that your reflection wasn't what you wanted it to be, say you had a big smear of dirt on your forehead, right? And you were like, instead of, you wouldn't go to the mirror and start trying to smush out that smear of dirt on the reflection, you would look at you first and you would wipe the dirt off you, and then you would see differently in the reflection, right? This is the same as what we see in our lives, right? So what you are not seeing in your reality that you don't want is because you are believing that and thinking that is what you are deserving of, worthy of, or can have right now. So here's what most people do. They'll get stuck in that cycle of waiting for it to show up. They'll be like, I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I get it. And then only that doesn't happen for them because they don't understand that the belief work has to start within. So there's an ancient proverb that says, as within, so without. That is a universal truth. It has to start from you first. So then you become fully committed to pursuing that external reality and you do the things that it takes. So belief doesn't follow evidence. Belief actually creates the evidence. So think about it. If you want to land a six-figure ideal position in leadership, for example, or you want to double your salary or whatever your goal might be, those are the two things that I specialize in helping people with, is getting to their first six figures or doubling their salary. But you don't really believe it's possible for you because you haven't had any evidence in the past that you've done it. I'm going to say to that, of course you don't have any evidence that you've done it before, because when we're growing, when we're doing new things, we don't ever have the evidence to start with. So you'll only apply for positions that seem realistic. You might not even put yourself out there for the bigger stretch roles if you don't believe you could get them. You might do it, and then if you get rejected once, then you'll go back to yourself and say, yep, see, I told you, I'm not ready, I'm not qualified, I need this, I need that. Instead of changing the way that you think and changing how you see yourself, because when you see yourself differently, others will start to see you differently. So if you are believing it, you will take different actions. You will build meaningful connections. You will present yourself in the interviews in a way that is much different than if you didn't believe it. One thing that really struck me was when you're expecting something to happen, you will act much differently than if you're expecting it not to happen or if you're doubting it. And when we truly believe, we can accept any tests that we get. So if something doesn't work out, that's like a test, or it's like a test saying, okay, are you willing to keep believing, or are you going to give up? And so a belief is only a belief if it can stand up to the tests of reality. And if you can't, then it's just a fantasy. It's just something you wish would happen, but you don't really think it's in your control, which is not true. So the actions that someone genuinely believes, they're going to take a very different action than somebody who genuinely doesn't believe. And you can't outact if you don't believe. Like, you can't outact your limitations in your belief system. So your behaviors will reveal the truth about what you believe is possible. If you take bold action and you show up in a consistent way with an executive presence, for example, you actually do believe in your potential, because you'll keep doing that until you get there. If you're playing small and safe, then you won't do that. And then any test reality gives you, you will use it as a reason to confirm why you were not able to do it, why it wasn't possible for you. All right, so the next one is believing hard means acting despite contrary evidence. So kind of what I said about a belief is not a true belief unless it can stand up to tests of reality. Okay, so the most important time to believe in the thing you want to create, so the six-figure role or doubling your salary, the beautiful environment that you want to create, isn't when interviews are going well. It's easy to believe when things are going well. Anybody can believe when things are going well. It's harder to believe when evidence suggests against it. So when evidence suggests against it, you need to actually double down on your belief. So when you get a lowball offer, when you've been rejected multiple times, when your colleague just got promoted and you didn't and you believed you deserve it, when your industry experience doesn't seem to match job requirements, when you start to feel imposter syndrome, that's when your belief matters the most. So consider who completely changed industries mid-career and secured positions that were technically unqualified for. These people believed ahead of time. They had to believe continuously, and their belief got them there. Okay? Anybody successful, their belief is what pulled them through. All evidence suggesting against it actually makes no difference, because again, a belief is a belief if it stands up to test of reality. And you will build your muscle in creating belief systems. So the things I've created and I will continue to create in my life have been based on nothing, right? No evidence that it was true. No evidence that this would be possible for me. It had to be created internally first. All right. Obstacles become your strategy. So this is a technique I like to use with my clients, is whenever you face an obstacle, and you're going to face obstacles in your journey, it is inevitable, you can proactively create a strategy from every one of those obstacles. So if you are, for example, hitting the interviews, you're getting to the interviews and they're not creating the offers that you want, a strategy might be, I'm going to get a coach, I'm going to get career coaching to help me figure out why that's not working, because I am qualified, I am capable, so there's really no reason why I shouldn't be getting these offers, so I'm going to get some professional help to help me. That could be a strategy that overcomes that obstacle. That's one of the things that I do. I'm very, very good at it. I work on it every day with my clients. So you can turn every obstacle into a strategy, because your brain is going to give you obstacles, and it's your job to not listen to the obstacles, but to say, okay, how am I going to turn that into a strategy? All right, committing to believing is more important than actually achieving the goal. This one's hard for some people. So here's something counterintuitive. Committing to the belief in your career goal actually matters more than achieving the goal itself. Why? Because the process of believing, of thinking differently and presenting yourself differently and taking bolder actions is what is transforming you into a different caliber of person. It is what is creating your new identity. And that has to happen before you can achieve any goals, any big, mind-blowing, life-changing goals. You actually need to see yourself in a different way, create a new version of yourself. So the commitment to the belief is more important than the actual achieving of the goal. So imagine approaching your career as if you were already the VP, or as if you already had the six-figure salary. You'd speak differently in meetings. You'd tackle problems with greater ownership. You'd believe in relationships from a different position and from more confidence rather than from insecurity. You would just show up differently if you were committed to the belief. So this doesn't mean that you don't care about landing the role. It doesn't mean you don't care about the achievement of the goal. It means you recognize that becoming the person who naturally commands the goal to come to them and respect themselves enough to continue that belief until it's happened is exactly what gets you the achievement of the goal. That's what I have for you today, everybody. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and sign up for my 3-day training, which takes you through my first step of my paid program, which teaches you the A to Z of how to land a 6-figure position, if that's what you're aiming for now, or doubling your salary. Both things that I have done multiple times, so I can very congruently share how you can do that yourself. I've also worked with hundreds of clients over the years I've been doing this, and I'm fully confident that I can help you too if you resonate with what you hear on this channel. So sign up below, and I look forward to meeting you.